You would never call this cocoa. It's
We
always
would never
cacao.
call it cocoa because cocoa tends to be more in the world of adulteration.
The cafe as we know it actually comes from chocolate.
It's the most complex food on the planet.
Yeah, you can just open.
It's a process.
We got a lot of chocolate.
I'm actually impressed with how much chocolate you all
We've
have
eaten
had.
so much chocolate. So in a milk chocolate bar, like what's the percentage of chocolate that you're generally seeing typical milk chocolate bar?
3 or 4%.
Only 3 or 4%. But your chocolate, what would you say?
We
is
have
100.
it's 100.
So this is no ordinary chocolate. This process uses raw cacao.
It's just one ingredient.
And it was delicious.
Cacao grows on trees, and these are dried pods from the trees.
The chocolate making process starts with the cacao pods.
These are what cacao pods look like on the tree.
Oh, they're beautiful. They're really red and vibrant.
And inside are the beans. And
Okay.
around each bean is this soft, pillowy, fruity substance that's
Okay.
extremely flavorful. So when all the beans are pulled out of the pod and they're lightly fermented, and those are taken and dried, those beans, the skins are taken off, and inside the bean we have these bits and pieces which are called nibs.
And when you think of raw chocolate, you think of that really bitter flavor. The nibs are really fruity almost, and that's what it is. It's a fruit.
And from that point, we take the nibs and grind them. Once we put this in our grinders and start grinding it, then the oils start to warm up and come out.
Okay.
And it turns it into, people call it a liqueur or a paste. It's just ground nibs.
And from that, you can get cacao butter.
From that, then it can be pressed, and you can press the butter out, and the fiber is separate.
Once you have the nibs, they're ground up. That liquid basically is ready to
That's
go
it.
as chocolate.
Yeah. This is what the nibs will turn into.
And this is about 3 days. You see the crumbs and the chunks?
Yep.
We go for about 10, 12 days.
And then it'll get just super
Super
fine.
silky smooth. So it's powered from the bottom, and the wheels just roll
Uh-huh.
on the base plate stone.
And you're not heating it at all.
We're not heating it at all. So you can feel that
Yeah.
it's barely room
Barely
temperature.
warm. Just
Barely-
from like
barely
the
warm.
friction.
Just
probably.
from friction,
Yeah.
just from room temperature.
They grind more than just cacao. They also grind all their own nut butters. They had pumpkin seed butter and coconut butter,
Coconut.
and making that kind of nice paste out of each one.
Right now we have over 1,000 different recipes,
1,000 different recipes.
at least, and we have 50 different flavors at any one time. So that's this stage, and then we move over to where we store it and turn it into the finished chocolate.
Okay.
This machine does a few things. It keeps it warm, it'll change the temperature to anything we want, and it's also a continuous tempering melter is what it's called.
So gorgeous.
It's not as bitter as you would think, is it?
It's like butter.
As fresh as it gets. Wow, that is so smooth.
I'm gonna get super chocolate wasted over here.
Get all those good love chemicals flowing through your system.
This chocolate has so many like medicinal properties, so many like mood boosting properties.
It has stuff in there that's similar to cannabinoids.
Yes.
And some of the other feel-good endorphins and all that good stuff.
There's phenethylamine, which is
Okay.
PEA, the love drug, or the love
The love drug.
the love chemical, PEA.
Okay.
Anandamide, which is from the Sanskrit word ananda, which means bliss. It's the most complex food on the planet, or one of the most complex, over 1,000 different chemical compounds. So the first time somebody gifted me the 3 cacao beans like I gave you,
Yes.
I sat with them and I tasted one, and I got a very definite, like euphoric feeling, like a love buzz. And I said, there's something to this. That's what started my love for chocolate.
Yeah.
Was that feeling of bliss.
It's really important for chocolate to go through the right tempering process, which just means changing the temperature from hot to cold and back again to kind of realign those fatty structures.
We are making the shell for the truffle chocolates, the filled chocolates. I'll stop the flow, get the tray under.
Fill it all the way up.
Then I'll flip it. Or 3. And I'll scrape it. So it's all even and just thin enough.
Showtime. Pedal. In.
Nice.
Fill.
Nicely done.
Pedal out.
All right.
Upside down.
1 second. That's it.
And Oh, the one-handed technique. My fingers are too fat.
Like this.
Oh, with the edge
you got
here.
it.
Okay.
Beautiful. Nicely
All right.
done.
I'll collect my paycheck on Friday.
Yay!
Okay.
So let's put it in the fridge.
All right, so these need to harden up, right?
Exactly.
There was a tempering machine that could temper chocolate, and there was also a method that Jeffrey taught us how to temper it by hand.
We're gonna temper up some chocolate on the slab here.
Tempering chocolate on the slab. So I was working with Nori with the machine, so you do this manually.
Yeah, so basically I'm doing the same thing that the tempering machine is doing, but we're gonna do it with the solid slab of serpentine. So we've got our cacao paste,
Okay.
and I'm gonna add a little bit of cacao butter to cut it because it's so thick. By the time I add the honey, if I don't, it'll be too.
So you're flavoring this chocolate.
Yeah, we're gonna make some vanilla rose.
Vanilla rose.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, and it's definitely a favorite around here. We use pure food grade essential oils, so I'm gonna put 1 drop of rose essential oil in here, and then 1 drop of CO2 extract vanilla, which is all you need. Very strong. So we'll do a honey sweetened chocolate, and so I keep the honey really warm so it's decrystallized. Everything that I make here is all done. Been doing this for over 10 years the same way. Same bowl, same everything, small batch on the slab. And what I like to do is take the temperature of the chocolate and of the slab before I temper it. And what that does is that gives me a good idea of how much I'm gonna pour onto the slab.
Getting it to that perfect point where the molecules align so you get that nice, snappy chocolate that you're kind of familiar with. So that snap is when it's perfectly tempered.
We're gonna reform the fat crystals, bring it into some form, crystallized structure, and that's how it's gonna pop free from the molds. I just like to use these little temperatures. It just takes the surface temperature. We're 60, about 69, 70 on the slab, and we're about 108 or so with the chocolate right now. The temperatures come down with adding those other ingredients. All right, so you just pour chocolate out onto the slab, like so. I'm just gonna move it. Just gonna move
A lot
it.
of surface area,
Yep.
cooling that chocolate down.
Yep, so you know that cold stone is taking that out. And you'll start to see it thicken up pretty quick.
And that's everything. That's that cocoa butter you added. It's the honey solidifying a little bit and the chocolate. So all three.
So that's it. You can see how thick that is.
It's not even running anymore.
And this is a very small batch, but it gives you an idea of how we do it. So that's that. I'll take it back over here, mix it all back in. Okay, so I hit my mark. So I hit it exactly where I wanted it. And now I'm just gonna get these into the molds as quick as I can. It's already starting to set up. Yeah, it's what a joy and a lot of fun to work with.
There's a delight you can take in watching someone make something by hand, and seeing the handcrafted nature of this chocolate was just mesmerizing.
And you always do it like this, small batches by hand,
Exactly. Every single piece.
every single piece.
Every single day. You lift it and it comes out. And it's okay to mess up. You can just come back and...
Fix it a little bit.
So this is basically how it goes.
And it just needs more chocolate on top.
Right when it solidifies.
Okay, we have to, it's a process.
I know, it is a process.
Shell, filling, more shell on top.
Exactly. Yeah, there we
Whoa,
go.
it comes out quick.
It comes out quick. Yeah, you can just, oh! Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
This chocolate was a whole new experience. It's fun to eat too much of this chocolate because I don't feel like the heaviness of normal chocolate. But there's a different experience than like the lethargic, can't move the rest of the day feeling.
You're impressed with how much chocolate you all
We've eaten
had.
so much chocolate,
We're gonna
but
be buzzing the
but
rest of
I
the
don't
day.
feel heavy. Like I don't feel like, oh, roll me out of here. I feel like I've had my fill of rich chocolate.
And I can eat this, I can eat this right before bed. It's not, again, not like the traditional sense of chocolate where it's loaded with everything but chocolate. As stimulants, as not feeling good. Chocolate's the most magnesium-rich food on the planet. So
Really?
magnesium, magnesium's a relaxer. It relaxes your whole being.
Yeah.
Good for the heart.
Eating this chocolate was really satisfying. It was really filling, even with a small piece just like this.
And that's kind of the whole point, at least for me as a chocolate maker, is for one little piece to be absolutely rich and full.
I'm extremely grateful for the people that make these kinds of products where they're making something that's as close to raw as possible. So it's not extremely processed, it's not mass produced, it's something handmade and locally sourced.
It's not just about the process of making chocolate, it's really about the love and the passion and the people who make it.
So now that you know about the cacao plant, maybe learn about these other plants in vertical farming, the future of gardening with no soil and greatly reduced water. Now I'm just gonna eat this chocolate.